Hey guys, DB right here, and today we are continuing with What if Videl trained like Gohan? Continuing where we left off, and a slight change I want to make here because I hadn't exactly cemented this in the previous part. Sort of hinted at it, but didn't really decide what I wanted to do with it. And that is the matter of whether or not Goku is brought back to life after the events of the Buu saga, which had ended abruptly due to Gohan and Gotenks essentially finishing off Buu before, Gohan could be absorbed because Videl basically sacrificed herself and took his place on the mantle. I don't think that's the right word. Anyway, off to the matter at hand. Was Goku brought back? I'm actually thinking, let's do something different. Let's keep him out of the picture for now. Now, I haven't seen Dragon Ball Daima yet, so I'm not doing Dragon Ball Daima, because I'm pretty sure Dragon Ball Daima is before the events of Dragon Ball Super. And since I haven't seen it or know anything about Dragon Ball Daima, I can't fairly use that part of the story as of yet. As soon as I get time, I will watch it though, and we'll simply backtrack to the end of it and do it as a bonus. And we might even do a GT timeline for this one as well, as another bonus timeline for this series. Let me know what you think anyway. Anyway, so on with the story. We're keeping Goku in Otherworld for now. And well, you can imagine he hasn't slacked off. He continues his training and continues to grow even stronger. And of course, having an Otherworld body means he's able to push to new heights even more significantly. As I recall, that's pretty much how he was able to achieve Super Saiyan 3 in the first place. But as for everyone else on Earth, because Videl has taken up an interest in ki and energy, she's actually more keen to keep all of this up and actually continues her own training, which ultimately encourages Gohan to keep training as well. He has someone to train with. He's like a mentor figure to Videl, as well as her squeeze, of course. So over the years, she has been refining her training as well, and has become even stronger, and as a result, Gohan's not going soft again. Which, let's be honest, I think we can all sort of appreciate that. So, we are now heading towards the events where Lord Beerus has now just woken up. And, well, to put it easily, it pretty much starts pretty much similar fashion what does in both Dragon Ball Z Battle of the Gods and in Dragon Ball Super. Beerus is woken up, he's destroying some planets, and he eventually recalls his dreams about facing a Super Saiyan God. And of course, he follows that obsession like he does in the original, eventually making his way to Goku, who was training on King Kai's planet. Now, big difference is, Goku's got a halo. We haven't brought him back at this point. Remember, back in the Cell Saga when he initially died, he decided to stay dead because he realized a lot of these bad guys coming back, Red Ribbon Army, Cell, even Frieza tracking him back on Earth with King Cold, it was all due to the fact that Goku was still around. And, well, that hasn't changed. Now, the only thing that's kept Beerus's suspicions about a Saiyan training on King Kai's world, though initially suspicious that King Kai would train a Saiyan to begin with, the fact that this particular Saiyan is dead is not raising too many red alarms for Beerus, but he's still asking him about, do you know of this Super Saiyan God? And of course, with Whis' confirmation, he can confirm that this was the one who beat Frieza on Namek. And they have a bit of their sparring match. However, due to Goku being dead, he's able to recuperate from the battle a lot quicker. He's not as out of it all the time because, as we know, having a body that's no longer living, yeah, you tend to recuperate a lot quicker. And yeah, ultimately, I would say that there isn't really that much difference going into this part of the story. Even with Videl in the story, and yes, she's stronger and more powerful, when Beerus eventually loses his cool at the party, she's not exactly going to risk her newborn baby's life, at least I wouldn't think. Yeah, I would imagine she would probably be essentially keeping out of it until we get to the whole Battle of the Gods part of this battle. But this time, and yes, Goku does leave Otherworld again to help with coming up with enough Saiyans to do the ritual to become the Super Saiyan God, but Goku is not the one to become the Super Saiyan God this time. No. It is Gohan, and rightfully so, after all. For starters, Gohan's alive. Gohan hasn't become softer, and right now, and this is something Vegeta even admits later on in the series, that Gohan has the best potential out of all of them. If Gohan wanted to in the original series, he could become more powerful than a lot of them. As of course we already knew that from, after all, after he beat Cell. It's just Gohan has this nasty habit of going soft, but thanks to Videl training as well, we've pretty much eliminated that bad habit. So I see no reason why Gohan shouldn't be the Super Saiyan God in this timeline. At least the first one. And well, the battle between Gohan and Beerus, Gohan actually does better than his father. Not just in terms of having slightly more power than his father, being Mystic Gohan as well. It's more to the fact of Gohan's intelligence in battle. With Gohan not going soft, Gohan's intelligence and strategic prowess is actually greater than his father, so it's more or less putting Beerus onto the back end of the fight. Beerus is having to either exert more power or try to find a way to outwit this kid. But, of course, in the end, Beerus is ultimately the victor, but he's quite impressed. You know what, kid? You actually have more potential. Unlike the other one with the crazy haircut. Yeah, that'd be my dad. Yeah, I thought there was an uncanny resemblance between you two. Well, you have piqued my interest, Gohan. I won't be destroying your planet today. However, you must continue to improve. No slacking off now. And as long as you keep up those delicious gourmet meals, then your planet will be spared. And so, with that, Beerus decides not to destroy the Earth, and is actually a bit more openly honest about why he spared the planet this time, rather than, you know, pretending to fall asleep like he did in the original anime. Bit more There's a bit more respect being shown for Gohan coming from this deity. And, well, because of this new challenge, Goku is now becoming enthusiastic about it. Yeah, he's wanting to come back to Earth now, because now he wants a shot at Beerus. He wants to be involved, and, well, as long as he's dead, he can't really do that. So, yeah. He's off teleporting to Namek again to see if he can convince them to use the Dragon Balls to bring him back. Which, after what he did for them back on the original Namek defeating Frieza, it's pretty much a no-brainer. But I don't know, I think they're stacking up quite a debt with the Namekians. But, hey, that's politics. We're not here to talk Dragon Ball politics, are we? So, and I think this is actually a particularly good spot to actually leave things for the moment. Now, I know, guys, I know you're probably disappointed that Videl didn't really do much, but in a way she did. She was like the silent influencer in the background, just due to the fact that she was training, and that encouraged Gohan to keep up his training, which ultimately made him stronger and a bit more of a seasoned fighter. He didn't lose his sense of battle like he tends to always do. So, yes, it was more of a silence influence role that Videl had in this part. And don't worry, I'm not going to be keeping Videl on the sidelines for long. After all, Pan is about to be born, and the resurrection of Frieza arc is about to start. And if you think I'm keeping Videl out of that, think again. As always, don't forget to like and subscribe, leave a comment, and we'll be back again next time. Catch you later.